got the stockpile.
Oh man, you gotta be ready. They made it seem like it was supposed to rain. It's kind of just misting right now, which is kind of making me frustrated because I didn't bring my stand because I didn't want to set up the stand and then an hour and a half later get absolutely shit on by rain. So the plan is I set up a camera on a couple of scrapes that we found, a couple of scrapes in just this area that had a couple of scrapes and a bunch of rubs. And I set my cell camera up and I'm not getting any pictures. It never sent me like the test picture that it sends right when you set it up. So we're gonna go into that area, see if we can't get that camera to send any pictures to my phone after the sit. So yeah, just gonna slip back there by that scrape. Our wind is blowing to the river, so I'm expecting the deer movement to be on the river edge. And hopefully we are on the back side of them, so they'll never be downwind of us. And hopefully El Jefe comes through.
What'd you say?
I said turn off.
Before that.
Oh, I said I got my release, I got my bow. We're good to go. Let's kill a deer. Set up like an hour and 10 minutes before gray light. It was kind of misting at that point, but it's raining now. We got an east wind, so our wind is blowing in from where we came from. We did a big loop. We wrapped around. About 15 yards ahead of us is a couple of scrapes. So we're hoping that with this rain and it not being the weekend yet, that they'll feel comfortable coming in here. Just gotta sit back and see what happens. I just realized I'm not gonna be able to do anything with my camera because I didn't bring my sticks. Alright, heading out in the afternoon. It is 2:30. We waited for the rain to let up a little bit before we headed out. The plan tonight is we're going to head into an area that we've called the Buck Nest for the last few years. Had a handful of encounters there. I've never actually taken anything down, but it's essentially a super thick area. It's shaped like a perfect square almost. And that square is surrounded by water, but it's just super thick, and there's beaten down trails. And on the north side, if you look at it, I guess from an aerial view, the north side of that square has always had this like funnel that you can see down, but it's super thick cover. And I can see a buck being comfortable getting up out of that thick bedding and walking into that funnel and feed his way towards the ag field. So that's the plan. Know exactly where we need to go. It shouldn't take us long to get there. It's a little bit of a hike, but it's essentially a straight line. So, yeah, we'll see when we get there. Just got set up probably like 10-15 minutes ago. We debated on pushing up a little bit farther to where we found all of the buck bedding during the off season. But I don't want to push too close because I don't want to kick them out of this area. We're probably only like 70-80 yards from the actual bedding area. We're watching this strip that kind of pinches them into this little area, and then on both sides of us there's bedding. The more the buck bedding is going to be over here. Most of the doe bedding's going to be over there. We've got the wind coming right in our face here, expecting the deer to come from down there to us. But we're just going to give this a shot. There wasn't the greatest amount of sign when we were following the transition in. There was a good amount of deer poop, and a few tracks, but nothing that stood out. There was a scrape about 50 yards back there, but nothing that's been worked really good. So probably got about 2 hours. Hopefully something shows up. I just kicked up what sounded like a big old deer, and it shook every tree on its way out. That thing sounded big. So now I gotta decide if I want to go to where I want. He definitely did not smell me, he heard me. I don't know if I should try to look to see if I can set up right here or go where I want. I backed out of finding that bed. It is so thick in there, and that's why he ran into every tree. I don't know. It was way too big of a deer to be a doe. It sounded huge. So I'm making my way to where I want to go. I'm about to the strip of timber that I want to hunt, but then I came across this beaten path leading to that thicket. That's the kind of the direction I wanted to go. I might follow this in and see what happens. Alright. Glad I went the way I did, because I just found me a scrape. Oh, there's a big old track in it too. Goddamn. What do I do? Alright, just freshened up that scrape. Got a camera on. I'm gonna keep pushing up though. It might be coming from my south. My wind's blowing down there. That big old track. Looks like it's coming from the way I'm heading, so. There we go. Alright. Probably less than 100 yards away from where I want to be set up. Biggest thing is I gotta find signs. I don't want to just walk into this timber chunk and set up randomly. I'll walk until it's dark. Alright. I started to lose a little confidence there. Just wasn't seeing any sign. And now I have came across rub after rub. And I just found a scrape. So I think I see the tree that I'm going to set up in. Once I see the view from there. The scrape's right there. There's another rub right up there. And a few more back there. Right next to me. We're going to give this a go. Oh my god, this whole thing is shredded. Yep. We're setting up. I'm not going to do too much talking. Every now and then it sounds like something's. Yeah. Alright. Got about an hour and a half left. I think the last time we spoke was about 30-40 yards behind me. I found a really fresh scrape. Man. I found a really fresh scrape. And picked back up on a nice rub line. And then the rubs got really, really condensed, so ended up setting up shop. Got a lot of good sign in here. We'll see if I'm on them. Alright. It is October 19th. I was planning on sitting a spot tonight that the action really picks up, like right about now. However, yesterday on my cell camera, I got a picture of a really old duck hunter. I'm surprised he made it that far back, but he could have came in by boat, I guess. So I'm better off just going to a spot that's kind of quicker access to get to. I had an encounter in the spot that I'm thinking of last year around the same time. It was in the evening like this. Essentially, that buck was, I hope that still works. Alright, so I'm gonna go to the spot that I can get my camera. It's in a spot that once all this pressure picks up, especially with the bird hunters, somebody sees that, they're gonna get a hold of it. And I could probably learn something. Probably not anything that I can use right now, but I could probably learn something for next year. It's been up before the season started. The only thing that's gonna make me not hunt here is if we get up here and the parking lots are just slammed with bird hunters. Every parking lot that I've drove by has had at least 2 trucks in there, and you can see the bird hunters and they're orange. All right, well, first stolen camera of the season. Looks like there's been a lot of human activity as well. I don't know what I'm gonna do now. I don't have much time, so I'm just gonna set up right in here. Damn it. I originally said that I wasn't gonna go that far in, but I just kept on following buck rub after buck rub, and then it started to downpour, so I couldn't film anything. I ended up following this trail to this tree, and while it was raining really, really hard, I looked up as I was about to cam over my stand, and there was a buck running out in this opening right in front of me. I was literally just getting done setting my stand up, and a buck just ran across there in that opening. You know, when we did our postseason scouting, we found a ton of beds the way that he ran, and I got a rub line that leads right to me, right to where he ran to. I didn't get a good look at him, but he didn't look small. He looked like a really big body deer. But I seen antlers for sure. Hopefully we get another look at him.